Gotti, our 135-pound pit bull that we used to own. This is the tourniquet that was involved in probably saving my life. Gotti bit me. Picture here. And we didn't know anything about medical. The tourniquet came into play when the paramedics got there, and they took off what I had on and put a tourniquet on me. Or they actually put it on plus what I already had on me, so we didn't take none of it off until I got to the hospital. But I was still bleeding some when the paramedics got there, so that's how the tourniquet comes into play. Stuff then, I didn't even know how to put on a tourniquet. I didn't own a tourniquet. That's why when I was bit, if Christy wouldn't have been there and we didn't have a pair of boots laying there with laces in them, I probably would have bled out. And like, I'm not being funny about that. Here is what the floor of the room looked like when we got home. So now you've seen how much I bled. That was just from before. Actually, most of it was from when I was first bit and then trying to get the tourniquet on me. But there was blood all over the room. It looked like a damn murder scene. But the point of the story is the dog, first of all, it wasn't because he was a pit bull. We have owned 6 pit bulls. He was the only one that was that way. He was wired incorrectly. Getting bit was actually my fault. It was me putting off till later what I could have done right then. He came in the room as I was laying in my bed. I knew I should have got up right then and put him in the cage. I waited. I went to get out of bed. My foot just barely brushed up against him, just enough for him to look at me. And I leaned down to pet him, and he latched on. And thankfully, we had laminate floors, or I probably wouldn't have a right arm right now. And like, I'm not being funny when I say that. He was a massive dog, and when them dogs latch on to other dogs or humans or whatever it is, they start shaking, and then they meet their natural instincts to back up. But he couldn't get no traction to back up. So as he's pulling, I'm pulling the other way, and he wouldn't let go. He was not going to let go until Christy started screaming at him. Like, I think I even hit him, didn't I? Did I hit him? I don't remember if I hit him or not, but I remember screaming at him.
I remember saying, "Gotti, no."
Yeah, and then as soon as Christy said something, he let go, and he took off and hid in the kitchen because he knew what he did was bad. But it wasn't a pit bull problem. It was a wired wrong dog problem. He was wired wrong. Like, the kids ride him like a horse 1 minute, and then you get food out, and he'd try to kill everybody. Or he'd be in his cage sleeping, and you'd walk by while he was sleeping, and he would try to attack you through the cage. So it wasn't the dog's problem. It was he was just wired wrong. It wasn't his fault I got bit. It was my fault that I got bit. I should have never had that dog around myself, yet alone my kids. But they put him down after that. Anyway, moral of the story is you never know what's going to happen to you or somebody else that you may run into. You need to get medical training. If we wouldn't have had those boots there, and I just wouldn't have thought about, hey, get the boot laces, because females in those situations freak out. Even my female, she's pretty good at doing what she's told in those situations, but she freaks out. You got to tell her, shut up. Hey, shut up, woman, and listen. And yeah, that's how I talk to her in those situations, because it's important. You got a problem with it, sorry about you. She knows I do it. She's still here. Getting somebody's attention is not abusive. Anyway, get some medical training, because there may come a day that you're going to wish that you freaking had it. And it could be a day that you're laying in bed at night, getting ready to go to work, and some stupid shit happen, and you'll almost lose your life. And like, I'm 100% positive if Christy would not have been there, I would be dead right now, because like, that's how much blood I was losing and how quick I was losing it. I mean, dark red. I mean, I was leaking blood bad. Thankfully, we did it just from the limited knowledge I had. Today it would be totally different. Today I would have the blood stopped in no time, and I would probably be honest with you, I probably wouldn't even went to the hospital, because when you have an arterial tear in like your arm, especially in the top of your forearm, they don't fix the arterial tear. They sew it together real tight, and it stops the bleeding, and then it eventually heals back together. That's what they wound up doing to me. So get some medical training, people. If you have guns and believe that's all that you need to protect what you have, you are a fool. Especially if you carry a gun every day. If you carry a gun every day and don't carry medical shit with you, you're a fool. Sometimes you're a fool if you don't do it. Because even if you shoot somebody in defense, you don't necessarily want that person to die. It's going to look a lot better on you in court if everybody says, yes, Mr. Freedom, saved this person's life after he just put a bullet in him when that person was trying to rob him. Or John Smith over here saved this person's life after he tried to carjack him and he shot him. Get some medical training, people. And if you can't afford it, there's like tons of videos. I got playlists with medical training videos in them that are pretty good. There's one that's 3 hours long that goes through a bunch of stuff. And practice it on people. Don't just watch the video, practice it. Because if you have a tourniquet, but you pull that tourniquet out and under stress and you have no clue how it works, there's a chance you're gonna die. I mean, like, seconds count in those situations. I mean, a couple of seconds is the difference between being mobile, conscious and not conscious. And you could have to do it to yourself, so know how to do it to yourself too, in all your extremities, different positions. I mean, you get shot in the leg and you got a femur bone sticking out, you're not going to be standing up putting a tourniquet on your leg. You're going to be down in a position where you even got to watch how much pain you put yourself under, because you'll pass out from pain. I mean, your body has a natural reaction to, if you're under so much pain, to knock you out. Don't know why it happens, but there's documented cases of it happening over and over again. But anyway, get medical training. Moral of the story.